Trollers and trollettes, thank you for joining 2-Minute Warning Fury tonight on Thursday Pick'ems. And I here have my special co-host, Mr. Timothy Spone, joining me tonight as we're coming at you live, giving you the 100% guaranteed, locked, no doubt about it, picks for NFL Week 2. So, Timothy, we got a beautiful Thursday night game coming up tonight. We're going to have the rookie Deshaun Watson visiting Andrew Dalton and the Bengals, who just had a wonderful outing last Sunday, as you can tell by the stats page. But in my opinion, Tim, Deshaun Watson coming in, he's a kid that was always nagged about being a great potential, but it's the plays, it's the playbook, and it's the Bill O'Brien offense that's going to take some time to learn, in my opinion. Lamar Miller still not being the Lamar Miller that we know from Miami. That offense needs all the help it can get without Will Fuller in the rotation. That defense is still great, but we also see if the offense can't stay on the field, that defense is good as nothing. So I actually see Cincinnati coming back in a huge rebound game against the Texans. Andy Dalton not going to have 4 intos tonight. And welcome to the jungle, Houston and Deshaun Watson. Bengals 32-12.
Well, Shim, here's my thing. Last week was an embarrassing loss for the Bengals and at home against Baltimore. Very embarrassing. And when you're having a guy like Joe Mixon, say he was the best running back in this past draft. You got Giovanni Bernard, you got Jeremy Hill. You're playing with fire. Marvin Lewis, I believe, was told, listen, John Ross is back out of the bunch. We need to start the youth movement, because if the Bengals lose tonight, I see a franchise movement starting with a red pen saying, "You're fired." So I have the Houston Texans and the Bengals. I have the Bengals rebounding 27-20.
Pretty close matchup. I like it. All right, so we're going to move to the first set of Sunday games here. And the first one that we have on our lineup here looks to be Cleveland at Baltimore. Now, this is going to be an interesting game because we had two teams that, it showed some promise, Cleveland against Pittsburgh. 3 points away, young rookie quarterback coming in, exceeding expectations in my book. I didn't think he was going to have success right away, a la that touchdown. So that's a little promising in my eyes towards Kaiser. But we all saw that defense last week in Baltimore. It's still the same, if not a tad bit better defense in Baltimore. 20-0. Shutouts in today's league, it's a rarity. You're more likely to find a diamond in the sword than see a shutout in the NFL. So I'm sorry, Deshaun Kaiser, Corey Coleman again. Baltimore is going to take this one 24-9.
Ooh. You know what, Shim? You're a little bit too nice. Very too nice.
I try to be.
9 points. You gave them 9 points. See, I see the Baltimore defense from last week continue their rampage on a young rookie quarterback in Deshaun Kaiser and a questionable offense. 24-20. It's going to be 24-0. You gave them 9 points. I'm giving them 0.
Oh. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. We got Tyrod Taylor and the Bills visiting Mr. Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. I liked what I saw of Sean McCoy last week as a fantasy owner. Please keep feeding him the ball. Most versatile back in football, I guess you could argue. Carolina showed some promise, rookie receivers, young rookie running back, kind of still the same O-line, but they're still trying to make it work. Some good protection. They faced a decent defense in San Fran. It's not complete garbage out there on the West Coast. So I applaud Carolina for a good fought battle. And Buffalo, if you look at the stats right now, I love looking at the week 1 stats. Seeing Buffalo as the number 2 defense in the NFL right now, it's hysterical. If you didn't know what happened last Sunday, obviously they faced the Jets, so that stat is going to be highly skewed. But if we're talking about matchups, I'm sorry, but in my eyes, Carolina has the better offensive weapons and overall the better defense right now. Carolina's taking this one 21-13.
Well, here's my thing, Shim. I seen LaShawn McCoy grab his knee last week. So, and then after once he grabbed his leg, or was his ankle, he looked injured. Mike Tolbert came in and had a pretty decent game. But here's my problem too. Tyrod Taylor, he has a rookie in Zay Jones, one target. About Jordan Matthews, he's a newcomer. Andre Holmes, from a former Raider, former Cowboy. Charles Clay. Still have Charles Clay there. My God, I know the guy's collecting a nice retirement check already. Man, it's old. So here's the thing: you go on to Carolina, a good defense team over there. McCaffrey, I like the flow with Cam Newton with his new type of offense. And you know what? I see the Carolina Panthers winning this game 17-14. I see both defenses get at each other's throat, but at the end, I see McCaffrey going off enough for the Carolina Panthers to win by a field goal, 17-14.
I like it. I hope McCaffrey has one of those games. It'd be nice for a rookie story.
He's in my pants. I need him, please.
We're going to move on here to the game of the week. I'm totally kidding, folks. I'm sorry. Here we have Arizona and the Colts. So I'm sorry, everyone that had the number 1 or number 2 pick. If you were lucky enough to get DJ, I'm sorry. RIP to your fantasy season. There's always next year. And to you Colts fans who may have drafted Luck or got a Luck jersey this year and assumed he would be back by week 1, I also apologize. Rest in peace to the Colts season. Better luck next year. But we have to pick a winner, Tim. Inept offense versus inept offense. Pretty good defense versus a defense. Actual starting quarterback right now versus who the hell? I got to go with the Arizona Cardinals in this one. 24-17.
Oh, hold on 1 second, Shim. Hello? Hey, how you doing? We're live right now with Tim and Shim. Yes, we are. We doing the pick'ems. Hey, listen. I left you voicemail. I think the Colts need you over there right now. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pick the prediction right now. I'm gonna pick it right now, even just in case. But you should play. But okay. Colts fans, that was the guy that should be playing on the team right now. That was a guy that should be on the Colts roster right now. That's not a guy on the sideline looking like, wow, I can't wait to come back in 7 weeks later. There's a guy out there with a nice afro, he put a nice sheen on it. He can scramble. He can do more than Tozin. He could definitely do more than Brissett. Colts fans, you are losing. Y'all gonna make Colts right now are gonna make every fantasy owner who had David Johnson on their squad think that Kirby Williams is a G this year. That's how bad I got the Cardinals beating the Colts. I had the Cardinals beating the Colts, Shim. 30-0. I went last week 30-0 with the Rams winning, and they went 46-6. I'm gonna do it again, 30-0. Call that man, coach. I need him. 30-0. Call him.
Damn, Spoonie giving all the shutouts this week. Woo! Get your parlays ready, fellas. It's gonna be crazy. Next game, we got the Carson Wentz Eagles traveling to the red-hot Kansas City Chiefs off of that win off of the previous Super Bowl winners. Or I'm sorry, I skipped a game. I apologize. We got Tennessee. My fault. I apologize, audience. We got Tennessee at the Jacksonville Jaguars. From what I saw last week, Tim, the Titans actually went up a very good Oakland Raiders team. I had Oakland winning, but in the back of my mind, I would not have been surprised if the Titans were able to pull that off. But I honestly think we were going to go through some growing pains, with Mariota missing some time and having to come back off that leg injury. You got to get rhythm and chemistry down with your new receivers. Got new personnel over there. But overall, when you got an offensive line like that and running back tandem such as you do in Tennessee, your worries are not going to be worries for too damn long. And I'm sorry with the Saxonville Jaguars from week 1. I understand all the hype and the Twitter account changes, but please, if you don't have an offense and you're relying on Fournette to carry the ball 40 times a game, that's a recipe for disaster, and it's not going to hold up all season. So I have Tennessee rebounding in this one, 31-22.
Okay, listen, Jacksonville. Last week, y'all did great. Y'all did awesome on defense. Fantasy lovers loving y'all. 9 sacks. Can you do that again this week? I mean, and there's no Allen Robinson, Jacksonville. I understand you having quarterback issues. Can your defense score points too? You're not looking so sure. Okay, let me go to Tennessee. Hey, Tennessee, the Raiders beat y'all, but you're not playing the Raiders this week. You're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. You have a good defense. Oh, I love what Adoree Jackson did to the Raiders receiver at a certain point. He's playing against Lee and Henderson. There's no Allen Robinson. No. Okay, Shim, I'm with you. I'm going 21-20 Tennessee winning this football game on the road. Oh, Jacksonville can't convince me.
No, absolutely not.
Can't get
Especially Bortles play. No, absolutely
Correct.
not. All right, now we're going to get to the game of the Ginger Man traveling to the 10-yard man. Wentz versus Alex Smith. Mr. Walrus visiting his old team in the Philly. This is going to be an interesting matchup because I do believe, although not really reported or scouted on too much about Philadelphia, I believe their defense is kind of pretty underrated in my eyes. I fear the Philadelphia defense. I think they got those players that can just fly around, make those solo tackles that are, poignant to winning a game. Really goes uncredited with them, and I fear playing them. But going against the red-hot Kansas City Chiefs, who know how to control the ball, especially with their defense that they have on that side of the ball, Marcus Peters is going to lock down, I'm sure, Jeffrey, and you won't have to worry about Torrey Smith being a vertical threat. It is a little concerning with Eric Berry being out, but Chiefs have been successful in Berry's absence in the past. Although as spectacular of a player and safety he is, the Chiefs will know how to make moves, and they'll know how to fill in that gap with him missing. It's a huge miss, but I think they can overcome that injury, and they'll be able to just plug and play and keep that role moving, especially that Kareem Hunt. What an exciting rookie to watch. I'm sorry, Philly. City's got this, 28-16.
You know what, Shim? Arrowhead is one of the hardest places to win a football game in, especially when you're a good team. Now, the Chiefs blew out the Patriots. I'm gonna say blowout because it wasn't all that. The fourth quarter was done, and the rookie Hunt went off. Fantasy owners went crazy. Even some members of fantasy football, they were like this. So we signed Alex Smith. It was looking like this. I don't know. Is that a fluke? Should we sign Alex Smith? I don't know. As a backup, he threw more than 20 yards. That's crazy. But see, here's the thing, Shim. The Philadelphia Eagles have a nice front line led by Fletcher Cox. So they have a better defense, not a secondary, but a better just front seven than what the Patriots have on paper. So this is a big test. If what we saw last week, was it just the Patriots were just playing bad, or the Chiefs that good? But you know what? I have faith because it's an Arrowhead. I see the Chiefs winning 21-17, knocking off the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, we'll have to see how Philadelphia addresses Darby's injury, same way Chiefs addresses Barry. So it'll be very interesting to see week 2. Okay, now we got the Super Bowl champions going down to Nolan's, baby. Drew Brees versus the Brady. I'm sure as soon as I put these helmets up, people were all like, all right, put them back down. We got this. New Orleans, you really need to figure out what's going on with that offense, especially the defense. My Lord, the defense needs to come together something quick because it's going to be a freaking dumpster fire. And it's looking like it's no different from 2016. And you even got rid of, Delvin Breaux and another piece or two that were notably helping your defense on that side. So it's no way is New England losing a second straight game, especially when they're going to be on the road. Tom Brady's going to have fire in his eyes. These receivers are going to be flying all over the field. Belichick's probably going to be wearing 2 hoodies just to show you how Belichick he's going to be. I'm sorry, Saints fans. If you thought you had a shot with your offense in this one, you were dead wrong. 38-13 Patriots in this one.
Wow. Wait, I'll give you a preview. I'm going to be Sean Payton calling me right now. Yes, how you doing, Mr. AP? Listen. I want you to listen very good. I don't care what your resume looks like. This is my team. This is my offense. If you have a problem with that, stay your ass in the locker room. Do you understand me? I have a championship ring. You don't. This is my team, not your team. Do you understand me? Okay? You just play here. Do you understand that? Now, go to the showers, take your ass to bed, and guess what? I tell you to wake up. Now, we're not going to have AP again bothering Mr. Sean Payton in New Orleans first home game against the New England Patriots. We're not going to have that. The one thing the Saints got better than the Patriots is chemistry. That offense versus chemistry on the Patriots offense. And we all know Mr. Brandon Cook is visiting New Orleans, his home place. But guess what? We all know Sean Payton is going to say, you know what? I got Ted Ginn. I got Michael Thomas. I got Kamara. I got Ingram. Hopefully AP is on a quiet note. I have the New Orleans Saints upsetting the New England Patriots 35. Scoring fest, but the Saints will win with a late field goal. And the Patriots will start the season 0-2. Wow. 0-2. That's not good.
Man, I might have to check the calendar if that actually happens. The world might be ending.
Ooh, man.
Bringing it down to a team I was thoroughly impressed with last Monday night is the Vikings traveling down to Heinz Field to face on Ben and the Pittsburgh Steelers. We saw last week Pittsburgh against Cleveland. Obviously, Le'Veon was going through some not really in football shape per se yet, held out, wasn't with the team in training camp. So obviously, naturally, we all figured he was going to have a little slow start, and he did. It's not going to hold like that. He's obviously going to break through and get back to the old Le'Veon where he's getting his 1,600 yards total scrimmage on the season. So I'm not worried about that. But this is really going to be a fine testament to how Bradford can actually hold up this year and if he's going to be consistent from what we saw Monday night, because he had an excellent outing. I know if you watched us Tuesday night, we talked about his 84.4 completion percentage, his 3 touchdowns, his best game ever that he's had in his career. Standing in the pocket, taking pressure, taking shots under duress, delivering the ball to Thielen, Diggs, Kyle Rudolph, Dalvin Cook in the backfield. It's shaping up to be a pretty prominent offense. Not saying that Diggs and Thielen are really obviously going to stay at the top of the PFF grading charts, because they're not. It's not going to happen. But when you got an offense like that, that's sound, and it can make those plays, and it can just do enough to score, get it in the end zone. Doesn't have to be pretty. Doesn't have to be deep balls. Just sounds nice, professional football. That's exactly what the Vikings are doing, and they have that top 5 to top 10 defense still intact there in Minnesota. This could be a very interesting game. I see some holes on the Pittsburgh side on defense. Even on the offensive side, it didn't look like it was all there. That tight end position is still a little bit of a question mark. And a little bit of a surprise, I have Minnesota 20-17.
Well, see, Shim, you know how I feel about the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. I love what Minnesota did. Minnesota last week, but when we're talking about the Steelers now at home, I have a problem. The Cleveland Browns gave the Steelers a hard time. The Cleveland Browns gave the Steelers a hard time. Now you're playing the Minnesota's defense. We're gonna have Xavier Rhodes, who's I think is the top 3 corner in this league, with Antonio Brown. Their secondary is good to hold up against Martavis Bryant and company, which he didn't do nothing last against the Browns. Okay, their front 7 is very dangerous. They are not the Cleveland Browns, so they defense. Big Ben got some work with this defense. But here's the flip side. Right now, T.J. Watt is probably the most interesting thing, the most good thing on that Steelers defense. Who is holding Stephon Diggs? Joe Hayden? Are we serious? Who is holding Kyle Rudolph? I'm gonna give you another one. See, the white guys don't get love in football when it comes to wide receiver. Adam Thielen. Who's gonna hold him on the Steelers? They got no secondary. None. I'm sorry, Steelers fans. I was wrong last week with the Browns. No. This week, I had the Minnesota Vikings upsetting 28-21. Oh, and Le'Veon Bell, did he get paid yet? No.
I don't think so.
You know how that goes. Nah, not yet. So you know how that goes.
New video.
You'll play not to get hurt. Yeah.
His new rap video coming up is called 2 Months.
Oh, wow. That's what's up.
It's going to be about the 2 months he was sitting at home, doing his ab flex.
Oh, that's hot. See, that's hot.
Yeah, that's
he got to show his crib and all his Scooby snacks around him when he was laying up. That's what's up.
We're going to take it on down. We got the rookie Trubisky and the Chicago Bears traveling to the Hard Knocks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Jameis Winston's territory. I really like this Tariq Cohen guy, Tim. If you had a chance to watch him, he reminded me of like a young Darren Sproles, like just a fresh, straight out of college Sproles. He's really exciting. I'm sure he was the most waiver wire sought, player personnel this week in fantasy. He shows a lot of promise. I really like that, and he could be a promising complement to Howard in the future. That defense is still really good in Chicago too. I was thoroughly impressed with how they held up against Atlanta. But again, if that offense cannot come together and find plays, especially with Kevin White just getting injured, my God, Kevin White, don't even get me into how much of a bust he's becoming. Meredith is out. It's starting to get to the point where I have to look up and Google the Bears roster just to show, who's playing at wide receiver for the week. Who do they have now? Just Adam Sheehan, the rookie, at tight end? Zach Miller, maybe? I don't even know what's happening back there. Overall, I think Tampa takes this one. Jameis Winston starts to get more into chemistry with Deshaun Jax, Evans and Howard, Brait and all them. 23-17 Bucks.
Oh, wow. What got me going crazy was last week's in the finale. I had picked the Bears to upset the Atlanta Falcons, and it was that close coming to truth. And we had the quarterback throwing 3 straight times to his players and 3 straight drops in the end zone.
Won't mention any Cooper name.
No, I don't want to do that. So Tariq Cohen is something good. That's one guy. We're going to Tampa Bay, their first home opener. I want to name the defense. It's loaded. I don't want to name the offense. It's loaded. The Bears defense is good, but I'll say this. Evans, Deshaun Jackson, we have Cameron Bray, we got Jordan Howard, Jaquiz Rogers, we got Sims, Jameis Winston. Yeah. I give the score 21-0. 21-0 Tampa. Sorry.
Whew, they're hustling backwards in Chi-Town. So we got here we go. The who's playing quarterback this week against the Oakland Raiders. I really don't even need to say much, Tim. 27-9 Raiders in this one. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I know Trisha's watching. I know she's watching. She may, start flipping up the tables and stuff like that. I know. I really do know. And last week I picked the Raiders to lose against the Titans,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the Jets. Just played pretty good last week against the Bills. I'm not gonna lie. Defense is solid. It's just the offense. I mean, just got here, and he was already the most targeted guy. Where was that order talk about Anderson? Now Curly is back with the Jets. Curly is back with the Jets. Oh, my God. You know what? What was your score with the Raiders and Jets?
I gave it 27-9 Raiders.
Oh, you very Trisha. He's being very nice. I'm giving them the Raiders to win 28-0.
Another shutout.
Listen, Beast Mode's gonna be eating his black and silver Skittles by the fourth quarter.
My Lord, yeah. Cooper, can we not drop it 3 times in a row next week? That'd be great. Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Giving me fantasy heart attacks over here, man. Just hold on to the bull.
You got a knee issue too.
Moving on to the South Beach Week 1 postponers. Jay Cutler-led Dolphins traveling to the West Coast to face on Phillip Rivers Chargers. We haven't seen Jay Cutler yet. We don't even know what to expect from that offense. We're seeing Ajayi having little knee issues. Not an injury, but he's having those, there's some pain in my knee. Well, no SHIT. You got bone on bone in that leg. How long did you think you were going to be able to play in the highest professional sport of football and not have any pain in that leg? Let's get real. This is why you were skipped on by 98% of teams. Honestly, I think Jay Cutler has the chance to have his best season yet because of the offensive weapons he's surrounded by that he was not blessed with so much in Denver and in Chicago. I think he really does have a chance with the arm ability and those versatile young receivers that he has in Stills, Landry, and Parker. A very good chance to have some good stats this year if he controls the ball and makes smart decisions. And on the other side of the ball, I really like what they're doing over around the other side of the coast. I like what the Chargers are doing on that defensive end, how they're building that up. Still, you haven't given Phillip Rivers the best commodities per se since he's had those early 2000 teams with LT and the other Hall of Fame players that he's surrounded by, but you can make by with the team or the personnel that you currently have, especially Hunter Henry is a very promising prospect coming up in the tight end world, and this is week 1 for Miami in a sense. And although you could argue they've had more time to practice and come together, you really don't have that practice until it's actual football season. And this is actual football season, and they have not played yet while the Chargers have already gotten a head start. So in my eyes, I already see the Chargers as being a better team in that aspect. The Dolphins still have to start, hike the ball, and see where they are as a team collectively. Just by that, I got the Chargers 24-15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what, Shim? This is the Miami Dolphins' first game. I know the Chargers lost a close one. See, I believe that running the football, the most important things you have to do, I think that the Miami Dolphins can do that. I don't have no faith in the Chargers' running game because I don't like the offensive line of the Chargers. They're not pulling more for Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon has some decent runs, but you need to run that ball. You can't have Phillip Rivers throwing that football. You have Keenan Allen, you got Tyrell Williams. Hunter Henry wasn't targeted at all last week. You have Antonio Gates. But I'm liking the Miami Dolphins defense. I'm loving their offense with Devontae Parker, Kenny Stills, and Jarvis Landry there. Jay Ajayi. They still got Drake. Okay, and you know what? This is the game where Jay Cutler is going to go, shh, all them critics. And I had the Miami Dolphins winning 21-17 on the road.
I can dig that. I can respect that. All right. Now we're traveling down to Denver. The Dallas Cowboys taking on Trevor Siemian and the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are going to be interesting this year because I feel that it's very possible if they start going towards a mediocre type season, maybe like a 2-4, maybe 3-6 record, they might possibly switch and put Paxton Lynch in under the helm. We'll wait and see about that. I'm not big on CJ Anderson. I'm not huge on the receivers anymore, even though they got the talent, just because Payton's not there anymore. You have to take into collective who's throwing them the ball and what kind of experience that guy has. Von Miller, yeah, he's a great threat. Derek Wolfe, you can rave about some of those players on the line or in the linebacker corps, Brandon Marshall, but when it comes down to it, when you got a line such as you do in Dallas that can buy time for Dak and the running game, if that comes together and they're giving their defense the rest that you saw in week 1, there's no reason that they can't just play sound football, running the clock, having that defense be fresh against Simeon, and having that line do what they did against the Giants. So in this one, there's no doubt in my mind that I can see Dallas taking this one 24-19.
I'm going to play the lotto right now. I'll play the lotto right now. And then that was hard. That was hard. Okay, here's my thing. All right. The Denver Broncos, outstanding defense. Outstanding. The offensive line of the Denver Broncos is not as bad as the Giants, but as bad as enough. I think the Cowboys' defense got better. It got better. They're young. They're quick. I love the rotation. Watch out for Charles Tapper. Remember the name, Charles Tapper. Now, the Denver Broncos, former Cowboy O-line Ronald Leary is out with a concussion. Okay. He was their best offensive lineman. That's crazy. To beat the Denver Broncos and to make sure Von Miller, without touching Dak Prescott or disrupting the run, the one thing you got to do is run that football. You got to make that defense tired. Very tired. And that's the one thing the Dallas Cowboys O-line can do. They can wear you out. That will open up a whole lot of passing lanes. Watch Cole Beasley in the slot. Watch Jason Witten. You know, we all know Dez and Akeem Lee are going to be drawing back and forth. That's the matchup. Dez, be very patient. You will get yours this week. Okay? You will get yours. The Denver Broncos was 28th. Melvin Gordon was getting through that line. So I could imagine what Ezekiel Elliott and the Cowboys O-line could do. Us Cowboys winning a tough game, 17-14, with Dan Billy going for the field goal.
I can see that happen. That's a good ending. Dan Billy's got that freaking leg. Screw him, but he's got that leg. We're going to take it down to Los Angeles, where the Rams are coming off a 49-point game, I believe. 46-49, yeah. And they're going to have Kirk Cousins in the Washington game visiting them. I thought what we would see last week out of Kirk and that team was probably, the same top 5 offense that we saw last year, where Kirk would, throw his close to 300 yards. Crowder would have, 100 in the slot. Pryor might have a good deep ball or something. What I saw was pretty much the opposite, though. They struggled. Kirk Cousins looked sloppy. Kirk almost looked like he was nervous that he was like trying to debut for San Fran next year and for Shanahan, like it was a contract year all over again for him or something. That defense has holes, and they've got spots like Jonathan Allen and rookies on that end of the ball, where Su'a Cravens, he just retired, so they still got some question marks on that end. And what I saw from the Rams, although be it they were going against a team that was fielding Scott Tolzien under center, my God, that defense just looked like a wrecking ball. That defense was just amazing. You never would have guessed that they were actually transitioning to a new 4-3. If I watched them, I was flat out amazed with how they played. I was even more amazed with how Goff was coming off with his passes and his delivery. Overall, it looked like a brand new team. I don't know what kind of Shane McVay's putting in that water in LA, but damn, might have to give me some of that. I'm giving LA. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong sheet. I got the LA Rams in this one though, 29-18 with the way they played last week. Tim, pretty good stuff.
Hey, listen, Jim, I'll tell you this right now. Okay, we have Aaron Donald coming back from his holdout. He's playing this game. I know he probably won't, he'll probably be limited on his snaps, but about this is a whole new team. This is a team getting its identity. I mean, to score 46 points against a coach team, that's something. I don't even know if the best team could have did that, but that team showed that they're not that far away from being a good team, especially with Jared Goff being a young quarterback playing the position. Todd Gurley with the run game. Cooper Kupp. Remember the name Cooper Kupp. Show some love to the white receivers. All right. We were talking about I want to see this guy named Farrah Cooper get some burn. Oh, Sammy Watkins. Wow. There you go, Sammy. About time we've seen you. We've seen you, Sammy. We're watching you. Hey, the defense, the 3-4 defense. I want to see, where does Aaron Donald fit? This is something that myself, you, Della, Fogmeg, with Sean, we all argue with this 3-4 defense. Where does Aaron Donald fit? We're going to see this Sunday. But here's the thing, Redskins. Okay, Kirk Cousins, contract issues. What are you doing? All right, Rob Kelly, who are you? Put in P. Ron Gruden. Okay, Reed, Mr. Reed, are you injured or are you hurt? Which one is it? For some reasons, like every time you go out for a route, we got to check you out for a reason. What's going on, Mr. Reed? Now, Josh Norman, it comes to you. You always talking about shutting down Dez, Odell Beckham Jr. They talking about what's his name from Alshon Jeffrey from the Eagles. You want to shut everybody down, but I guarantee you in this game, the no-name players are gonna score on you, and you're gonna be pointing the fingers. Oh, that's your fault. I got the Rams winning this game, Shim, 21-14. 21-14.
That'd be a really good start for the Rams this year after what they did last year. Yeah. And Louis Riddick, hey, he might not be far off with that. Jared Goff is the most turnaround player of the year, He showed something last week. So next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to the West Coast to face on the division opponent Seattle Seahawks. Tim, we touched up on this on Tuesday for our Tuesday topics. Russell Wilson's line is really something to be a little panicked about. Obviously, it doesn't even look like they can hold water in a bucket right now. Russell's running for his life back there. I think he had 52% completion percentage or something with 158 yards passing. And we have no idea what's going on in that backfield. It's almost becoming like the Patriots, where you can't trust who's in the backfield because you don't know what they're going to do or who's going to be that starter for the night. The receivers, Doug Baldwin is great, but we're still waiting to see how Tyler Lockett is going to come into his own in that slot, who's been raved about being, this transitional breakout player for the past 2 seasons, especially for fantasy. Well, Lockett, when are you going to decide to show up? I understand you had that serious injury, but come on, man. We need to see something, and we need to see it ASAP. The defense is still good, still intact. Still got the personnel that you want to have in Seattle. They're leading your team in the regime there in those important positions. But it is getting to the point where if Seattle is going to do these three and outs, you know where I'm getting to, Tim. That defense is not going to be the Legion of Boom. They're going to be the Legion of we're too tired to stay on the field. Sorry. But San Francisco is going to have some growing pains as well. Kyle Shanahan, he's a rookie head coach. He had some spats last weekend where he apologized to a head coach. He's got fire. He's got pressure. He's got ego. He's got a lot of things he's dealing with as a rookie head coach too, expectations and all this stuff. So We'll see how that plays out. But in the end, San Fran, not a bad defense. Still need to get some work on that offense, especially with Brian Hoyer, though. This is not a game I see them getting either their 5 or 6 wins in, though. So I got Seattle taking this one 24-21. Still a close divisional game.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dedicate my next pick to a real true 49er fan, 2NW, Sarita Thomas. Today's her birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Sarita. Happy birthday to you. I have the Seattle Seahawks winning this game 35-0, beating the 49ers. I just want to be nice before, remember that I said happy birthday. That way she won't get pissed at me with the score. So Seattle's winning 35-0.
That's very nice. That's a change of heart from last year. I think before you used to just troll.
Sarita hugs.
Yeah, before it was like pins in the Sarita voodoo doll last season, wasn't it? But I think and we won't touch up on that though. No details about that. Coming up on the Sunday night game here. This is actually going to be a good Sunday night game, not like last week with that piss poor blue team, whatever they were. We got the Green Bay Packers traveling to Atlanta, Georgia to face on the Falcons. I like this matchup, Tim. I'm really excited for this matchup because here you have two very good offenses in the NFL facing off with what you could consider kind of question mark defenses right now with Atlanta and Green Bay. I would say more so I would rank Atlanta's defense a bit higher just because I think the linebackers and the D-line is a bit better. And then in Green Bay, you got the question marks with those corners. I think Clinton Dix is the only one that I can say I have trusted in Green Bay in the secondary. Atlanta, in my opinion, is just going to have way too much offensive firepower to combat the Green Bay defense. And while Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and he's arguably the second GOAT. Can we have a second GOAT? I'll follow up on that later. I just don't think he's going to have enough, or he's going to be able to carry this team on his shoulders this game in order to win it for Green Bay. So with that offensive weaponry and Matt Ryan, I think Atlanta is taking this one 32-21.
Well, you'll be close in this one. So you have Atlanta, right?
I do.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I agree with you, Shim. I feel with the game against Green Bay and the Seattle Seahawks, everybody's screaming Aaron Rodgers needs a running game. You have a running game, but you still want to throw the ball 24/7. You got Ty Montgomery. You have the rookie and Jamal Williams there. Okay, from I believe BYU, and they still want to throw that ball 24/7. Now this is a game. You can throw that ball with Atlanta. Atlanta got better on defense. Securus McKinley, and we got Vic Beasley. We have two guys, and forget Deion Jones. We have three guys in that linebacker spot who can get to Aaron Rodgers and make him just go crazy. Jordy Nelson would not be enough for this game. I have the Atlanta Falcons winning this game 31-30. High-scoring game.
All right, and let's finish off our NFL Week 2 pick'ems with the Monday night game. We got Stafford and the Lions traveling to the Meadowlands to take on the Giants. This is going to be a very interesting game. Usually when the Giants and Detroit Lions or Giants and Lions meet, it's a very close game. Usually it's like, I would say 3 to 5 kind of point difference between the winner and loser. Stafford last year played a real good game against us, but he had the thumb injury at the time. He looked really good with his receivers last week. Golden Tate, Marvin Jones getting into it. Marvin Jones last year, though, we saw him kind of disappear after week 3 when he had like 400-something yards. I think he finished the season with like 700-something. I don't know where the hell he disappeared to. The real test here, is obviously going to be the offensive line of the Giants going against that Detroit defensive line. D-line in Detroit wasn't as good as it was, say, 2-3 years ago, but there's still, I would say, an above-average D-line. And we're absolutely going to need Odell there on Monday night because if we don't have him, our offense is virtually kind of one-dimensional. And the Detroit Lions could easily play probably a cover 2 formation against us like 99% of the time, and it would be no contest with no real threats there. So we need Odell. We need him to open up and disguise a lack of our running game for the most part. And if Odell is in, I would have to say we definitely have a better chance at capitalizing on the offense because that's more ways to open it up for us and the other receivers aren't being doubled down and get some Marshall some targets. So in my 100% bias pick, just because we can't start the season off 0-2, I'm taking my G-Men 22-19 in a close game.
Whew. Okay, this was a hard one for me. You know, I hate the Giants, Shim, but this is a pick and we have to be real and honest. So I'm gonna be honest. This is a game. Okay, is Odell playing? Say he practicing today, but it doesn't mean because you practice you're gonna play. I still think he won't play. I still think that he'll probably suit up. He's gonna be much of an impact. But this game falls on Ben McAdoo. This is a game where the coach got to come out. We're going to see what you're worth. All right, they have some guys who could fill in for Odell's role. You got Brandon Marshall, you got Sterling Shepard, you have the kid Roger Lewis, okay? You have Ingram. So you got to act like he's not even there. And you got to put those guys in. What scares me is the Giants' offensive line. That's what scares me. I believe the Detroit Lions probably got a better defensive line than the Cowboys overall. You know, just not so much better, but a little much better. But the Giants at home, the Giants got a good defense. They have to get to Brand. They have to get to Matthew Stafford and disrupt them. Golden Tate is going to cover him. I'm going to say this with all honesty. DRC is a stud. Janoris Jenkins, Eli Apple, he gives it up too much. I'm sorry, he gives it up too much. The Giants, I think the Giants are going to win this game, a very close one, 21-20. Last play, and here's the thing, in 2MW, all the Giant fans who were saying Eli must be replaced, I will put a certain quarterback in that spot because they can scramble and be mobile. They're going to be the same ones this week. See, I told you, Eli's a Hall of Famer. Only Hall of Famers can make moves like that. They're going to do that. Lions are going to win 21-20, beating the Detroit Lions.
I respect that.
I got to throw up. That was hard for me.
Tim, I know you don't give a flying F, but for my fans, it's like, why are you, this whole Eli, get rid of him? It's like, did you guys not see the Seattle game? Did you see Russell Wilson? Do you know he's one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the game? Do you see even what he was doing without much protection up front? I mean, what do you want? What do you want? Geno Smith to come in and scramble and buy more time, 5 more seconds, just so we can lob up an INT? Is that really any better than taking a hit? I'm not sure, man. It's just, it boggles my mind the demands from some of these so-called fans that apparently or supposedly watch every game. I'm not sure if they do, because if they think Eli's terrible, yes, he's fucking underperforming right now, but what do you expect the guy to do when he can't get in a rhythm or any protection? I mean, we're seeing it.
James Cooper, who's one of our hosts on our show, he's a big Giant fan, and he said it when Brandon Marshall got to that team. He said it. He came out and said, "Listen, it's not gonna do you any good if you have no protection." Mm-hmm. Eli, you want Eli to have all day to throw to an open man. That line is porous. But I think the Giants McAdoo has to go into this game with a different game plan and get these guys more involved as if Odell is not there. That's what he's going to have to do. The defense might have to win this game. Make some plays on Matthew Stafford. I don't even believe if Matthew Stafford won a game the last 2 meetings they came close. It was last year. They came close, but they didn't win. That was a game Odell did play. He made a couple of plays, but I don't think he will beat it. But I really do think the team is good enough to beat the Detroit Lions. If they don't,
all right, Tim, we're right at that 2-minute warning. So before we wrap up here, got a couple minutes to kill. Give me 3 games. 3 games that you are gonna just sit back, open up your Doritos and hot buffalo chicken dip for, and just you're waiting for this. These are the 3 games that you're most looking forward to this week. For me, I think I would have to go. I'm very interested to see how divisional opponent Philly matches up with Kansas City at their stadium. I'm very interested to see how Minnesota handles Pittsburgh at Heinz Field, because we all know it's very difficult to win at Heinz Field. So that will be a huge, huge testament to see how Minnesota will be going forward this year. And to be honest with you, I'm really looking forward to Dallas and Denver. I think that that's a really good matchup on both sides of the ball.
I mean, you know what, Shim? We are like, of course we're gonna watch our game.
Yeah,
right. Pay attention to the NFC East enemies. You know, again, Eagles and Chiefs. Of course, I want the Eagles to lose. I want the Giants to lose to Detroit. I want the Redskins to lose to the Rams, and my Cowboys to win. Aside from the NFC East,
right?
I want to see the Patriots and Saints. I want to see headlines 0-2. I want to see the drama 0-2. And this never happened with Tom Brady. I don't want to see no other memes from the Patriots fans out there saying, well, the last time we lost to the Chiefs, we won to the Super Bowl. Show me a meme the last time y'all went 0-2. What happened?
Yep.
Done. So I want to see that. I want to see now. I want to see if the Minnesota Vikings, they for real, Shim. Beating the Steelers would be a real good thing. Listen, Green Bay and Atlanta, the only thing we want to see out of that is the bookies. We want to take the over points because it's circular, very nice, and make sure we get that cheddar because we know it's going to be a high-scoring game. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Listen, and you Raiders fans out there, don't tag me beating the Jets. Don't do that.
Don't at me. Don't even at me no more.
Take the hand, yo. Just a good win. Don't show off.
Don't at me.
Don't show off. Supposed to beat the Jets. You don't beat the Jets, I will be tagging.
Good stuff. Yeah, perfect. All right, yo. So thank you guys, trolls and trollettes, for tuning in. 2-Minute Warning Fury, our Thursday pick'ems. Join us next Tuesday as we bring up some topics to discuss from NFL Week 2, fresh off a Monday night game, Tuesday at 8 p.m. If you haven't already joined the group, facebook.com/group/2MW Sports. Also check us out on youtube.com/2MW Sports. And check out our Twitter page if you could, twitter.com/2MW Fury. Thank you guys. Enjoy the games this weekend. We'll be back on Tuesday night. And Tim, any departing words?
Let's go Cowboys!
Be safe, kids. Later, knuckleheads.